Welcome back, my YouTube people. Meet Moxie. Moxie is mama to Foxy. Foxy is my daughter's first stuffed animal since she was a newborn. So I decided to get the same one because it's cute. But she says she wants to be painted like a French girl. That's what she said. So if anybody wants to do that, you just do that. You let me know in the comments that you did it, and maybe I'll yarn you something cool. So make sure you like and subscribe before you forget. Okay, so I'm starting a tiger today as a request from my friend's kid. And I'm gonna do this in one shot because guess what? The directions are exactly the same as the dragon that I started actually yesterday. So we're going to complete all of this in one video because maybe that would be, I don't know, everybody learns differently, so maybe that would help somebody. All right, so first, as always, when you start your magic loop, your yarn's on the right. So you pull this, you make a D, okay, and then you flip it over like the page of a book, and you're gonna pull the yarn here. Now I purposefully make this much longer than other people. Most people find it annoying. I actually find it annoying too, but there's a reason why I do it. And I share later if you continue to like my stuff and possibly watch later videos, you see why. But I do that also so I don't accidentally crochet it into the pattern because I've done that. So anyways, if you pull this here and it shortens, you did it good. If you pulled this and it shortened, you kind of did it backwards. So we're going to shorten that to where it's about the same diameter as the needle. Okay, not too tight. All right, now a lot of people, they like to hold their yarn a specific way. I'm not good with it. It doesn't work with me, but I can show you. You wrap it around your pinky like that. I'm sorry, yes, like that. And then you move over like this, and you continue to yarn. And then what happens is, it pulls through like that. Now, sometimes my hands get sweaty. Sometimes I feel like there's just too much stuff in my hands, and I can't do it. So I'm gonna zoom in here and move this mat because the camera always thinks it knows where it needs to be, and it keeps moving itself. Okay, so we're gonna start now. The first thing we do is generally what's called a slip stitch. It's you move from the back to the front and you just pull through that loop that you just made. Pull it through enough so that you can take a stitch marker and place it through just one string. Okay. Okay. Start again. Good grief. Start again. I try to keep it to where that tail thing there is in the back, so I don't accidentally, like I say, yarn it. I can't count how many times I've done that. It makes me so mad. So, all right. So the first stitch is going to be very different from all the other ones because you're going to do this again, but then you're going to go through this hole of the green stitch marker, and now you're going to do real stitch. So it's back to front, you pull through, so then you should have 2 strings. You wrap around again, and then you pull through these 2. Oh goodness, I hope this doesn't turn into a 30-minute video because I'm fighting with the yarn. Okay. Stitch, 1. All right, so now the rest of the stitches for this row is going to be through the green stitch marker. So this is stitch, oh, I'm sorry. I was about to be a very bad yarner. You always remember to put your stitch markers on your first stitch, and it's so that it's the first stitch, so that when you start the new round, you know exactly where to begin again. My thing is I like to use pink, red, orange, you know, those 3 colors generally, because it kind of represents like stop, like a stop sign, so that I know that's the end of the round, because every now and then you'll see me use other color stitches in the middle of patterns and stuff, and those are generally because like there's 30 or 40 stitches, and I like to use the green to mark the halfway mark, so I don't have to, you know, count 20 different times. So anyways, that goes on the first V there, representing the first stitch. Okay, now second stitch. You want to make sure you're going the same way every time. So you want to make sure you're going this way, and you're not doing it with the yarn on this side. You want to make sure that yarn is always in the back. Push through. You notice every single time I push it back, so that I will have this uniform by the time I'm done, because it makes, again, that diameter pretty even. Okay, so that was stitch 2. You see 2 V's there. Stitch 3. It's gonna be squeaky. Okay, it's always at stitch 3 that this gets in my way. So I gotta move it out of my way. It's always stitch 3. Okay. Now stitch 4. You see this? You see this? It's trying to fight with me. That's 4. If you're gonna be that one, I'm gonna throw you away. Keep coming undone. Okay. So pull it all the way out. I know over exaggerated there a little bit, but you want to count, make sure you got 6 before you move on. So obviously this is represented the first stitch. And then here's my pointer that I'm going to use. Let's ignore the green thing for right now. So that's 1, that's 2, 3, 4, 5, and the 6 is that last piece there. All right, so the green marker goes away. You don't need it anymore. And now remember, we're going to do 6 increase stitches. It should equal a total of 12 stitches by the end of the round. Okay, I'm trying to get comfortable with my elbows. I can't do this sitting up. Okay, so 6 increases. So to start here, this is the stitch marker representing that first stitch from the first round. And this is round 2 is when I really start to make sure it's straight and uniform. All right, so I know that stitch the first stitch was supposed to be an increase, but that means it's 2 stitches. That doesn't mean it's 1 stitch. So after you're finished with the first stitch of the increase, that's when you're going to put your stitch marker in here in that first V underneath 2 pieces of yarn. Okay, so that's your first stitch. And now you're going to do an increase. So the increase, I like to think of these thingies as legs. Sometimes they look more visible. Right now they don't. I probably tightened it too much. But right here underneath that second little leggy, right underneath it, that's where you stick the needle for the increase. All right, so stitch 2. See, this is when I tighten. Okay. Again, your increase, there's your little feet. And it's going to go underneath legs. It's going to go underneath that second leg there. Okay. Oh no, I might throw you away too. Okay, again the legs, so you see where that next one is going to go. Okay, I started to daydream and now I can't remember what stitch I'm on. So form it a little bit, that's what I would do, so you can easily see the V's. So here, the stitch marker represents 1. So remember, this is supposed to be 12 stitches total. So that would be your first increase, your second increase, your third increase, your fourth increase. And so I started 5, and now I need to make the 5th increase by going through there again. All right, and you got one last V. Okay, so I know we just counted, but, you know, I'm going to double count for y'all. Okay, so that marks number 1, 2, 3, and as you do this, you can actually push these up because the velvet yarn will move inwards so you can see them better. So that was 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and then 12 is the last. Alrighty, so the next direction that we have here, round 3, we're going to do 1 stitch and then 1 increase stitch 6 different times for a total of 18 stitches. Alright, remember we're going to be a good, diligent yarner, and we're going to make sure we start off with that marker on your first stitch. And you will stop what you're doing and you will move it. You put it underneath that first V right there. I don't know why my hands are shaking, probably because I didn't take any Advil today for my back. And it hurts. Okay, so that was the first stitch. The second stitch here is going to be an increase. Look down into the legs. This is the next stitch. No, serious. Okay, I forgot again where I'm at. See, I can't. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's 1 increase, 1 increase, 1. Increase. 2 more stitches for a total of 3. Your single, and then your increase. Okay, let's count. Okay, so 1 is the marker, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Yippee! Alright, I'll continue videos as I go on, but those were the directions we just followed. See you on the next video.